Some places were old before the country was born. In North Carolina, the mountains don't echo. They remember disappearances with no footprints, lights that move without sound, circles in the earth where nothing grows, and something whispers when no one else is near. These aren't just legends. These are names in case files, coordinates on maps, reports that end with unresolved. Tonight, you're going into the forest, and when you come back, you may not be alone. Lock your doors, put on your headphones, and pull the blanket up tight, because after this video, you won't walk through North Carolina the same way again. The disappearance of Dennis Martin, the boy who walked into the forest and never walked out. In some forests, it's not what you hear that haunts you, it's what answers when you go quiet. And in June of 1969, a 6-year-old boy walked into the Smoky Mountains and was never seen again, not even once. It was Father's Day weekend. The Martin family, William, Clyde, and Dennis, had driven from Knoxville to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Near the Tennessee-North Carolina border, they were experienced hikers. It was a yearly tradition. Just like always, they brought supplies, maps, even a plan to meet another family the next day at Spence Field, a high-altitude meadow in the middle of the park. What happened up there changed everything. That afternoon, Dennis and his brother were playing near the edge of the field. The adults were close by, just a few feet away. The boys came up with a game. They'd sneak up on the grown-ups and try to scare them. Dennis was the smallest, so he took the far side of the trail, slipping behind a tree line while the others looped around the back. And then, he never came out. They called for him. They searched the bushes, the trail, the tree line. They split up and circled back. No answer, no sound, no scream, no cry, nothing. Within 10 minutes, the Martins had alerted rangers. Within hours, they had dozens of searchers. And by the second day, the U.S. Army Green Berets were on the ground. They combed every inch of the field and forest, day and night. But here's what makes this case so deeply disturbing. There were no tracks, no torn clothing, no broken branches, not even a footprint. And yet, something had taken a child, in daylight, in front of multiple adults, in an open space, and left zero trace. Now here's where it gets stranger. On the same day Dennis vanished miles away in another part of the park, a separate family hiking near Rowan's Creek spotted something they couldn't explain. The father said he saw a figure in the woods, tall, shaggy, moving fast through the trees, carrying something over its shoulder. The son thought it might have been a bear, but the father was certain. It looked like a man, and what it carried, it looked like a child. The family reported it. The detail made it into the search logs, but was never followed up. For weeks, the search continued. Over 1,400 volunteers, helicopters, bloodhounds, grids marked and cleared, but no Dennis. And then, the Green Berets pulled out without explanation. They stopped sharing information with the Park Service. They shut down certain areas of the forest. Even the FBI went quiet. To this day, there is no official theory, no signs of animal attack, no evidence of drowning, no crime scene, no body, just a hole in the forest, a place where a boy walked in, and reality bent enough to let him vanish. Some researchers believe he fell into a cave or crevice. Others suggest feral humans living off-grid in the Smokies. Some even mention something older, a presence that takes, not to kill, but to keep. The most unsettling part? One of the rangers who worked the search told a reporter years later, there was something about that part of the woods. The air changed, the sound stopped. We weren't alone, and whatever was there didn't want to be found. Today, Dennis Martin's name is still in official records. His photo is still posted in ranger stations. And hikers still visit Spence Field, unaware of what the ground remembers. But some campers say at night, when the fog rolls in low and the wind dies down, they hear something small walking just outside their tent, never speaking, never screaming, just circling, like something still trying to come back, or something else never left. Some vanish where trees grow thick, others vanish where nothing grows at all. And deep in the mountains of North Carolina, there's a place where the earth stays bare. No matter the rain, no matter the season, they call it the Devil's Tramping Ground, and something walks in circles there when no one's looking. Devil's Tramping Ground, where nothing grows and something walks in circles. In the middle of a Carolina forest, Surrounded by roots, grass, and pine needles, lies a perfect circle of dead earth. Nothing grows there, nothing stays there, and at night, something walks it. Just south of Siler City, North Carolina, deep in the forest where the trails thin and the air turns dry, you'll find a strange clearing. It's not wide, maybe 40 feet across, but at the center there's a perfect circle. Bare dirt, cracked and colorless, no grass, no weeds, not even moss, just dust. And the strangest part, everything you place inside that circle gets moved overnight. For generations, the locals have called it the Devil's Tramping Ground. Some say it's where he paces in silence, marking his ground. Others say it's not the devil at all, just something older, something that doesn't like to be watched. According to legend, even animals won't cross it. Dogs whimper, birds avoid flying over, and hunters have claimed their trail cameras always glitch when aimed at the spot. But this isn't just local folklore. The North Carolina Department of Agriculture tested the soil in the early 1970s, so it came back as normal. No toxins, no contamination, just earth. But somehow nothing lives there. In 2003, a group of campers from Chapel Hill brought sleeping bags and audio recorders. They placed rocks at the center of the circle, perfectly arranged. That night, their audio picked up nothing. Not crickets, not wind, not even breathing, just silence. And then, faintly, a sound like steps on dry leaves. The next morning, the rocks were outside the circle. Their sleeping bags were pushed back toward the tree line. And the recorders, dead, batteries full, but no new audio saved. Another man, local to the area, said he left his father's W-Sabis military boots in the circle as part of a dare. The next day, they were 30 feet away, wet with dew, and turned inward, as if someone had stepped out of them. Skeptics blame salt or animal interference, but no one can explain the shape. It's perfectly round. Even the pine needles collect around it, never inside. And every fall, it looks as if something has brushed the leaves away again, even when no one goes there. Some believe it's a natural vent, a place where the earth releases pressure from beneath. Others say it's an ancient burial site. There are rumors of Native American warnings, never confirmed, but always whispered. And then there are those who believe it's simply a door. Not open, not closed, just there. People who camp near it describe a feeling of being watched from behind. Some say they wake up facing away from the circle, no matter how they fell asleep. And a few describe something even stranger. Dreams where they're pacing in a circle with someone behind them. But they're not allowed to look back. Today, the Devil's Tramping Ground is still there, still empty, still quiet, and still changing what people believe is possible. Maybe it's not the devil, maybe it's not a ghost, maybe it's just a place where the rules of life pause. Some places won't let anything grow, but others grow something they were never meant to. And under the surface of a calm mountain lake, there are whispers of structures buried, rooms lost, and a door that was found once, but never again. The hidden bunker beneath Fontana Lake, the door they can't find again. Lakes are supposed to reflect what's above, but in western North Carolina, one lake is known for what it swallowed. Fontana Lake is the deepest lake in North Carolina. It runs long and narrow through the Great Smoky Mountains, surrounded by forest and fog, with isolated shores that stretch for miles. Created in 1944 as a hydroelectric project during WA2, the lake was formed by flooding entire communities, forcing hundreds of families out of the valleys. Old churches, homes, graveyards, gone underwater. But some say not everything beneath it was civilian. In the 1970s, fishermen and hikers began reporting something strange. A structure, half submerged on the north side of the lake. Concrete, metal, a door, sealed shut, with no windows. Some saw it from boats. Others found it while hiking down through the trees, but none of them could ever find it again. One group of campers in 1982 left a report with park rangers saying they found a steel hatch in the ground, set into a hillside. They said it had a vent, a rusted lock, and a faint hum coming from below. The ranger returned with them the next morning, but when they retraced their steps, it was gone. Same trail, same trees, no door. In 1997, a man named Walter M., a contractor who worked for the Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA, claimed he had seen blueprints for low-access service points built into the landscape before the lake was flooded. When asked if they were military, he smiled and said they had no plumbing, but they had power. Then he stopped talking. Some theories suggest it was part of a Cold War communications hub hidden beneath the national park. Others say it was a staging site for biological testing, meant to be erased when the dam flooded the valley. The only problem? No official records list such a structure, and no divers have ever confirmed its location, but some hikers insist it's still there. They talk about finding old, rectangular indentations in the ground, too clean to be natural, or trails that suddenly end at smooth concrete slabs, cracked but still solid, and sometimes, when the lake is low, you can see metal just beneath the surface for a few hours. Then the water rises, and the path disappears again. One visitor, in 2015, uploaded a video of himself walking down into a shallow opening in the rocks. He found a wall, then a steel plate partially overgrown. The video ended with him saying, "I'm going to come back with better gear next week." The video was deleted 2 days later. He never posted again. Locals call it the place that was meant to stay drowned, because if the door really leads to something buried, someone made sure no one could find it twice. And the most unsettling part, in a TVA document archived in 1953, an entry reads, "Hatch 3B inactive. Do not list on public index. Status unreachable. Covered." No coordinates, no floor plan. Just those 5 words. Covered. Unreachable. Do not list. Some things vanish underground. Others never touch the ground at all. And on a ridge high above the clouds, there's someone who waits. Not to scare, not to chase, just to watch. Because on Roan Mountain, some figures never leave. The woman waiting on Roan Mountain, she never moved and never left. Some ghosts don't haunt places, they wait in them. Roan Mountain is a place where the wind feels older than the trees, and where, high on the ridgelines, people keep seeing a woman in white. Not walking, not chasing, just standing, just waiting. Roan Mountain straddles the border between North Carolina and Tennessee, its ridges among the highest in the Appalachian Range. It's known for its bolds, rolling meadows high above the tree line, and long, open views that seem peaceful at first, but hikers say something about the wind feels off up there, like it's moving through something invisible, like someone's always just ahead. And for over 40 years, multiple hikers have described the same figure, a woman in white or pale blue, standing along the Appalachian Trail, near the Carver's Gap Overlook, always alone, always facing the same direction, east, toward the sunrise. The earliest known report came from a man hiking in 1973. He described passing a woman around dusk who stood near a rock wall, looking out over the valley. He said hello. She didn't respond. When he turned around to look back, she was gone. No sound, no footsteps. In 1987, a group of college students took a camping trip and stopped near the same ridge. Around 4 in the morning, one of them woke up to see a woman standing across the field, staring at them. She didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't blink. They yelled to her. No response. When one of them grabbed a flashlight and pointed it at her, she vanished. The grass where she stood was dry and flattened, but there were no footprints. Some think she's a spirit of a woman who died along the trail, maybe lost in fog or struck by lightning, but others say she's not dead at all, because people don't just see her, they hear her. In 2005, a solo backpacker reported that as he rested on a stone bench near Roan High Bluff, he heard someone humming just behind his shoulder. He turned. No one there. He walked 20 yards forward. The humming started again, always right behind him. He left that night without finishing his hike. He later posted online, "She doesn't follow you. She waits where she already knows you'll stop." More recent reports, as recent as 2021, describe the same. A woman standing beside the trail before sunrise, her face pale, eyes dark, mouth closed. She doesn't smile, doesn't ask for help. She just looks through you. And sometimes, she isn't standing. She's sitting on a log beside the trail, as if she's waiting for someone who's late. One park ranger who's worked the area for 20 years said, "We get lost hikers, falls, even bears. But the ones who talk about her, they always say the same thing. She was there, and she saw me before I saw her." Some hikers try to talk to her, some walk right past her, and some turn around the moment they see her. But one thing's always the same. No one has ever seen her move, and the most chilling detail? There's a story passed among the trail guides that if you walk the ridgeline near Carver's Gap right before sunrise and you look east, you'll see her, and if you look away and back again, she'll be closer, not chasing, not smiling, just waiting for you to stop moving too. Some figures don't move, but others don't let you move at all. In the deepest gorge of North Carolina, where cliffs rise like stone walls around you, hikers have reported a presence, not seen with eyes, but felt through the spine. And when they turn around to look, there's nothing, except the sound of their own breath and the feeling they're not alone. The faceless man of Lynville Gorge, you'll feel him before you see him. In North Carolina, some trails are steep, others are ancient, and one is watched by something that doesn't blink because it doesn't have a face. Not a mask, not a blur, just smooth skin, where nothing should be blank. Lynville Gorge is called the Grand Canyon of the East. Deep cliffs, sheer drops, a place where you can hike for hours without seeing another person, but still feel like you're being followed. And for decades, hikers have reported the same phenomenon, a sense of sudden weight, a cold stillness, the feeling of being studied from behind, and sometimes they see him. The first known story came from 1994, posted in a now-defunct hiking magazine. A man was hiking the Lynville Falls Trail alone when he felt pressure in his chest, like a slow panic without a reason. He turned around and saw a person, maybe 6 feet tall, standing motionless on the rocks above the trail. They didn't move, but I couldn't see their face. Just blank skin. He assumed it was a trick of the light, looked down to check his footing. When he looked back, the figure was gone. Since then, more stories have emerged. Never viral, never loud, just whispered. A woman said she was camping near Table Rock when she heard footsteps around her tent, slow and deliberate. She unzipped the flap and saw a person standing 5 feet away, arms by their sides, not breathing. When her flashlight hit the face, there was none, just smooth, pale skin. No eyes, no mouth, not even a nose. She screamed, and it vanished. Skeptics say it's pareidolia, that people see what they expect in deep woods, with low light. But here's where it gets strange. Even those who don't see the figure describe the same symptoms: headaches, dizziness, a metallic taste in the mouth, the need to stop walking without knowing why. And it always happens on the same ridgelines, always near shadow drop-offs, and always between 4 and 5:30 p.m. One hiker who returned to the trail a year later brought a camera. He didn't see the figure again, but in one of his still photos, zoomed in, there's a shape. Not quite man, not quite shadow, just tall, still, and just out of focus. No one's ever captured him on video. No one's ever spoken to him. Because when people see him, they freeze. Not because they're afraid, but because something in their body refuses to move. There's a theory that he's not supernatural, that he's not even human, that he's something older than memory, a remnant, a leftover presence from something that once walked this gorge and never left. Hikers still disappear in Lynville. Most are found, some are not. And of those who come back, a few say they felt something that has no explanation, a weight, a gaze, a figure with no name. And the most terrifying thing, some don't see him at all. They feel a hand on their shoulder, and there's nothing behind them. The brown mountain lights, the silent beacons that return without warning. They don't follow you, they don't land, they don't speak. But if you're standing still long enough, they appear. And when they do, the air changes. And you know, you're not supposed to be watching. Brown Mountain rises like a shadow in the western spine of North Carolina. Remote, foggy, old. Even the Cherokee once warned about it, and they weren't the only ones. For over 800 years, people have reported the same thing. Floating lights, reddish, white, or pale blue, drifting over the ridgeline. Not stars, not planes, just lights that don't blink, don't hum, and don't cast a shadow. The first written record came in 1913, when a fishing club near Morganton filed a report to local authorities. Mysterious orbs dancing across the trees, no known origin, no sound, persisting nightly. The government blamed it on train lights, but the thing is, the lights were reported before trains ever existed, and they're still being seen today, long after the tracks shut down. Scientists came, astronomers, geologists. They stayed for months, logging weather patterns and magnetic readings. They couldn't explain it. In 1922, the US Geological Survey conducted a full-scale investigation. Their conclusion? No conclusive source found. No consistent origin. Lights appear erratically and without environmental triggers. In other words, they had no idea. The locals, they stopped trying to explain a long time ago. They just warn visitors now, don't shine your lights back at them and don't follow them, because some people have, and they didn't come back the same. In 1965, a pair of campers near Wiseman's View watched the lights for almost an hour. At first, they hovered over the ridge, 3 white dots in a triangle. Then they moved straight down the slope toward the trees. One of the campers, Rick, grabbed a flashlight and flicked it twice. 2 of the lights blinked back, and then all 3 vanished at once. Rick later said something strange. When they disappeared, I felt it in my chest, like the ground hiccuped, like something closed. Others have claimed the lights cause equipment to fail, especially cameras. One photographer reported that after capturing a perfect long-exposure image of a glowing orb, his memory card was wiped clean. The camera worked, but the photos were gone. Some say the lights are plasma, natural gas reacting to minerals, but there's no consistent geological structure to support that. Others believe it's reflected light from towns far away, but the lights have been seen on cloudless nights, in total silence, from points where no reflection is physically possible, and some believe the lights aren't a reaction at all, but a signal from beneath the mountain, or from something that doesn't move with time the way we do, because there are reports, quiet ones, never confirmed, of people seeing the lights not just over the mountain, but standing still 5 feet away, glowing, soundless, not hovering, just watching. The most chilling part? Some people don't remember seeing them at all. They go hiking at night, come back with photos that show faint light in the distance, but no memory of it, as if they were never supposed to remember. And Brown Mountain? Still there, still quiet, still pulsing when no one's watching. The lights return, sometimes weeks apart, sometimes years, but when they do, you feel it in your teeth, not your eyes. Some mysteries walk through the forest, others disappear in lakes, and some just float above it all. No names, no patterns, no sound, just light, and the deep, sinking feeling that you were never supposed to see it in the first place. Some mysteries scream, others whisper, but the ones that stay with you are the ones that never speak at all. Have you ever felt like something was watching you, not from the trees but from right behind your skin? Let me know in the comments, and tell me, which state should we explore next? The most requested one might be the next one you regret unlocking.